And welcome to the Medieval Engineers stream. This is Joseph, and figured I'd bring you in for a real quick episode, maybe 30 minutes or so today. I started playing and I decided I really needed to update the stream to show you my progress on this. So here we are, loading up the world, obviously. I made a good amount of progress, kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff. You'll see what I'm talking about here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish harvesting these berries. The graphics take a second to kick in to the full level of detail, so it's always neat when you're first loading the world to see the stand-in low resolution graphics. There they go. There's the good ones. But I'll show you what I've done. You can almost kind of see a little bit of it off to the sides and whatnot. Oops. Each time I harvest this berry plot, I get about 9.5 nobles, and that's pretty good. If I do that 30 times, you know, that's 300 gold. If I do it, I don't know, 100 times, that's 1,000 gold, and that's enough to buy a gold ingot, which is probably the most valuable item in the game. Also, it's used for any number of projects, like a gold king statue, I think. So that would be a whole massive amount of prestige if we could get to that amount of wealth. I don't know why I'm addicted to harvesting these berries, and I realize I could be using a harvester and a rotary farm method or something like that, and I probably will at some point, but these are renewable, and a rotary farm you have to replant every single time, so there's a certain wisdom to having a small patch that you can kind of distract yourself from the more substantive tasks in the game by picking from time to time. And you know, I'd say it probably takes 2 minutes to harvest. I'd say a rotary, maybe 3 minutes. A rotary farm would probably take a minute, so you know, I'm losing a couple minutes or whatever, arguably, by not, you know, hunkering down and getting that rotary farm in place. What I mean by a rotary farm, by the way, for those who don't know, you can create a rotary block. Let me just make. I always gotta check. Don't know. You can create a rotary block. Okay, good. My levels are good. Okay, so rotary block. Oh, how do you? I didn't know about some of these food types. I can't remember how to do. Oh, it's the I guess now you would use a mechanical block. So, I don't even know which one it would be. It's the I don't know which one it is. But you would use one of these. I guess probably this one. Vertical mechanical split. Yeah, I mean, you could use something like this. You'd place it in the world, and then you would attach things to it, and then you'd then things would spin around. So, and then you'd have that lined up to hit the ground precisely. This is the one area of the wall that I haven't finished over here in any close to sufficient way, but we're going to take a look at it all, so I'm just going to hold off on that for a second. The Copper Hill server, of course, is the server that I play on, so very friendly server. It's a PvE server, it's not a PvP server, so it's against the rules to, you know, just blatantly attack somebody. Okay. So what I do with these berries, obviously, is I sell them. And then I've been selling these stones as well. Just a little bit here and there because I keep getting them, and I figured why not. Okay, so that's all of those, and then what I will do, obviously, is trade these up for these. Yep, and we're going to be 9 3/4 again here. So that's how much money we made from those berries, and a little bit extra from the rocks. I think the rocks gave me like 3 pennies, so really not a huge deal. I probably shouldn't even waste my time on them. The berries are the big money maker in my collection. And these nobles, you know, they're not... It's not like, I don't know, I only have 9 on me right now, but it's a pretty decent amount of money. I mean, it's not the same as like $1 to a penny, because the penny goes to a quarter, and then I guess it is kind of like that, but the pennies are more valuable to begin with. So as you can see, I now have 120, plus I have enough to make 123, plus 1, 2, 3, and 3/4. So, you know, we're doing pretty well on money. I already did create a silver ingot, which I think looks nice, and I put it in this display case. That would, I think that's something like 4 to 8 nobles of value. I could sell all this stuff, but this thing keeps, some of these crates keep not displaying correctly. Kind of depends on how things load, I think. But anyway, that's obviously last episode we finished the storehouse, so let me show you what we've got going on over here. The storehouse has 2 things of normal rocks. These 4 are for timber. These are all for logs. That side is completely full. This side is about 3/4 full. I've got this one empty right now. Got some generic storage for various things here. And I do have this thing going on, so I could probably try to squeeze a few more of these in here. Okay. A little bit of dirt. I'm gonna grab 50 clay to make another plant out there, and then let me show you up here. This is where I've been storing all my sandstone. I do have a bunch of full containers of sandstone there, so we'll have plenty to build with today and in future episodes as well. So that is our storage area. We do have some doors that lead to nowhere currently, but they might lead somewhere eventually. I do try to lock this every time I leave because that's one of my 2 extremely secure areas, the house being the other. The house is very, very temporary. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get around to deleting it. But I keep growing these little plants in here using 50 clay a pop. Takes a little while to grow, so that's why I want to keep doing it. But then, here's the deal, guys. Well, let me finish showing off what I've been doing. So I did a little bit of work over here. I ended up putting a portcullis here instead of... Let me just construct this into place. Put this guy here. I might get rid of this one and leave this one so we have more of a traditional gatehouse with the possibility of murder holes up here. Oops. Surprised it didn't take damage there. Worked a little bit on this tower, got it to this 2nd level. Obviously this is a foundation level. Over here we've got the top of this gatehouse, which again, this thing will probably be moving, so I'll be able to put a row of murder holes here, I guess. Still a little confused on the murder hole thing. Again, we tried to add this block here, and we couldn't because of research. But I can't seem to figure out which research I need to research to get it unlocked. So I don't know if that's a bug or what. I can't find anything about it on the forums. But anyway, so that's the start of that keep there. And I like it, but I have an idea. This I haven't done much with. I did finish this last episode. The big changes are over here. We did quite a bit of stonework along here. I probably will connect that to there somehow. I did carve out this so people can't just walk up the hill and come up here. They have to... And I'll probably keep carving that out a little ways. But we put these battlements up here. This is not exactly as well defended as other parts of the wall. There's no machicolations or anything, but that is in part because it would be really tough for an invading army to approach solely from this angle. Even if they did, we'd have towers shooting at them, and I think there's probably going to be some sort of vantage point above this somewhere. So, I don't know, I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so I got this tower a little bit higher. It goes up to here now, and it's going to keep going up. We're going to make that at least 8 tall, hopefully. Then we added these machicolations to the walls. We got the walls up nice and high. The walls, on average, my walls end up being 3. It varies a little bit depending on how it fits into the land, but 1, 2, and 3, as you can see there. And so that's kind of a standard wall for me. I might try to put a little walk along there. But now this is the only part of the wall where I put this backstop because it went so nicely with this walkway there that I made. But I might not do that throughout the other parts of the wall. These are the machicolations. You can shoot down or drop things down those holes, and you still got the battlements people can shoot out. So if somebody's far away, you shoot out the battlement. If they're up close, you would shoot down the matriculation. And that's just for walls. Yeah, I mean, let me show you the difference. If I come over here to the regular battlements, sure, we have a little bit more openness, so you have a little bit more offensive capability, but you're certainly more exposed. These are less open, and obviously, since they're on the hill, the angle ends up being farther. So it is important to have those machicolations, because you can pretty much, see, look at this one. You see that rock there? I can just barely see that rock from here. I'd have to go like that. So, I mean, the point is that the machicolations will get you, right along that, almost to the path, and going above the battlements would get you to the path there. Okay, so added the machicolations all along here. This is all solid wall. Here I did something interesting. I dropped down a level. This helps me connect to the ground a little bit. And so I do have these stairs going down to the ground here. And it goes into this tower. It's also just kind of neat to have the different levels. And we do have the arrow slit window here, so it's a good place to fire at the enemy from. The top level goes into this tower as well. I'm going to have to put some floorboarding here once I get some more planks in my inventory. But that'll continue to rise up. Again, I wanted to make it 8 tall as well. Right now this is 4, so it'd be 4 higher than that. Let's see here. So this continues along here. We have another area with machicolations. I might want to modify this section because it's kind of short, but this area we don't have diagonal machicolations, which is stupid, so I had to use the battlements here, and whatever. I guess the tower can shoot people that get too close, but it does go along the top, and it is going to connect up to this Barbican tower. But let me come back here and show you where this goes. If you go through the tower and over here, this becomes a solid level where I was just walking. This is level 2, but level 1 opens up and it has arrow slits. This is right next to the drawbridge where somebody would be coming up. Actually, the drawbridge is right over here. So it's not right next to the drawbridge, I lied. It is off to the side a bit, but it still gives you some options, and it's kind of a cool little corridor. And then this is our left Barbican tower, I guess, if you want to call it that. These arrow slits do face the drawbridge, so people trying to get up to the drawbridge, you'd be able to attack from here. And we do have these nice pillars and stone stairs and little chamber corridors and stuff. Really cool. We also have this staircase going up here. And then this is the top part of the tower. You would come this way as well. But this level really not going to be used other than just to connect it up to the path. Really, the level it's going to be used is this one and maybe 2 more above this. I think I want these Barbican towers to go up about 6. So this is 4, and I want it to go up maybe 2 more. But this gives you a pretty good view of the battlefield. There will be matriculations on the top of these towers as well. I'm still not 100% on that, though. I might go with hoardings. Hoardings would look like this. And I'd have to put those out like that. Which means I'd have to get some of my number 7s, I think. Is it number 7? Balcony. I don't know if it's number 7 or if it's a different one. I don't remember, but the hoardings are very tricky. Here we go. So these are kind of like matriculations. And what I would do with that, you know, it would basically just go on the outside here. It's hard to place. I did it in my previous server. And then the hoarding would stick out and cover that, so you'd have like a covered roof. That's option number 1. Option number 2 would be to just go with the round matriculations. See, I don't understand why there's... I only have these 3... Oh, you know what? Oh, that's neat. That's not unlocked yet. I must be missing some technology. Like, I may have to, like, go find it or something. But, anyway, maybe when I unlock these, it will unlock the sandstone equivalents. I'm not sure. But I do have this one, so what I will tentatively plan on doing for now, probably, see if I can do this without dying, is, well, it's kind of difficult to work with, but the idea would be this would go right on, well, you get the idea. It would go on the outside going around, and I have no idea how I'm going to get it up there, but that's where it's going to go. It's going to go up there on level 6. Okay, so that comes along there. Now I will show you that I do have a basement in this tower, and that makes me nervous because I wonder if maybe I shouldn't make that a solid base for structural integrity purposes. There's this corridor down here. I think I already showed you that. And then this goes along the ground level, and there's these arrow slits. This is facing the drawbridge, so that these would be places to attack people approaching the drawbridge. Also, right above the drawbridge, we have these matriculation holes, which would be, you know, you could pour acid or shoot arrows. Also, you could shoot arrows if the enemy is farther away from the battlements there. Unfortunately, again, we have this diagonal stretch, so I had to use regular battlements. But that's okay, because it gives a better angle for people approaching the drawbridge in some ways. The only thing it doesn't give is a vantage point down right at floor level, which in order to attack at floor level from that angle, you'd have to come down here, I guess. Or right around the corner here. And there's a tiny little blind spot, I guess. I'll show you. These are things you want to think about in castle design. That's one of the beauties of this game. So if I'm an invader, anytime I'm coming up this hill and I can see an arrow slit like that, on with, you know, that's not an extreme angle. Like, that's a pretty extreme angle for that one. But for this one, not so much. So obviously I'm vulnerable to arrow fire from those arrow slits as well as the battlements. So right now I've got like 8 or 9 positions where somebody could be firing at me from. Same with here, same with here. I guess if I manage to get right to about here, maybe there's only a couple places where they could get me. That would be a fairly secure place. So that's just something that you want to think about. I'm not too worried about it because it's such a limited area. So anyway, I like this. It's right around the right along the ground floor. This goes up here. It meets this, which came from level 3. So level 1 meets level 3 here with a 2-story staircase. That's kind of cool. Inside the wall. And then it goes up to this level here. We do have a staircase going to the ground here. So I might want to secure this staircase. It's a little too close to the drawbridge for safety. I don't know. Maybe not. My thoughts are, if the invaders get through the gate, maybe I want to restrict stair access somehow. Well, anyway, we'll think about that. I haven't finished this area at all yet, but this tower is up to level 4 as well. And we're still working on it, obviously, but I think level 4 might have arrow slits, level 5 won't, and level 6 will be the top. Matriculations here, I'll probably continue these along here. And then this will be a diagonal with maybe a battlement, and then this tower I added at the last minute, that's gonna go up, and then a diagonal battlement. Probably no matriculations over here. We'll see. And if we go down here, obviously this is the interior of the tower. There is a window there. And this goes down to level 1 of the tower. This is, you can shoot into the gatehouse here. You can open this and shoot through there as well. I'm tempted to change this out just for an arrow slit because it's pretty vulnerable. I think my thinking was, well, if they get close enough, you're going to want to close up shop anyway. But anyway, and then I have this little area down here. I don't know why. Maybe just a storage or something. It's kind of cool. This door opens up. And then, of course, in the gatehouse, we do have the arrow slits here and behind the door. So when the door is closed, defenders can fire from both sides. The door, the portcullis. By the way, if they happen to breach the drawbridge somehow, which is going to be tough, and let's say they get up to here, well, then they've got this. Now, while they're working on this, arrow slits, and then, in theory, murder holes would be up there. Okay, so, I tend to leave everything open except for sometimes this door, just so if somebody comes along and wants to look at my castle, they can. Because why not? Okay, so this door ooh, I need to dig a little. Whatever, that's good enough. This goes to this little place here. Definitely need to dig this out. Gotta be careful though, I don't want to change in structural integrity of anything. I might need to add a little here. Alright, that works. I kind of like the ambient sand all around. It just kind of adds a little something. I'm out of material, okay. So that's the gatehouse here. On this side, it's got 2 doors. And it looks nice on inside the stair. I love the door going under the stair there. Okay, so that is the walls. On the keep, all I've done is just done a little work on it. Alright, here's the last thing I want to do on today's episode. Again, it's a little bit abbreviated. I think what I want to do is I want to change this quite a bit. I want to get rid of this, but keep this tower here. Make a wall going across to there, still connected up to there. Mr. Deer. And then, rather than have it cut across here, I want to have it cut across here. The reason is, and I might keep at least part of this mechanism, but the reason is this would be a lot more secure. It looks better. I just can tell it's going to look better. And it gives me more room to do stuff in my interior. And it allows this little thing that I've already started working on to become protected inside the keep. And the wall system is going to integrate perfectly. And I just think it's going to look a lot better. So this creates an opening for my castle town to be out in this direction. Okay, so I think that's what I want to do. So let's get to it. So I have plenty of room in my inventory. Let's just start tearing this down. I may need to rejuvenate my hammer. If we start running low on inventory space, we'll just start building some more of these cubes to lay out the area that we're going to be working on. I think you'll see what I'm talking about once we get a little bit more work done here. I probably want to just go one more and there and have that just go from there. So that's good there. Okay. Probably destroy 2 more. Maybe this one. Nope, okay. So let's put some sticks down. So I think what we want to do, and we're going to have to be a little bit cognizant of that. Yeah, it's not done growing. I'm going to have to move that. Tell you what, I'm going to throw some sticks. Does this have an inventory? I built this well, but oh, I forgot to mention, I built the well. It does have an inventory. I guess I can craft a bucket using a empty bucket. I can get a bucket of water. And that's for the still water mod. Okay, I'm not familiar with that mod, so I don't know how to do that. Let's put some of that in there so I can go pick up those sticks so I don't have to worry about it. So the real question now is basically, where do I want the gatehouse to this keep to be? Do I want it to be right in the middle of this open area? Do I want it to be here? And I think the answer is I want it to be here, because this is a perfect defensive tower. So unfortunately I'm going to have to move this pot. But I think I think what makes sense, and I will have to get rid of that, is to get rid of this curve here and make it a straight path. Put the gatehouse in the middle. So the gatehouse will go approximately right here. And then there'll be another tower. So let's let's put some of these down. So this is more just to lay things out a little. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Okay. So then, how am I doing on inventory? I'm pretty bad. I'm kind of worried about that brazier. But I'm just gridding this off a little bit. Okay, so I honestly think the gatehouse is probably going to be right here. Maybe even right there. 1, 2. And then the next tower will begin here. So should we just go ahead and put that in? Be number 8. Here. So this kind of allows me to do something that I did not plan for very well in other locations. And that is to, okay, hang on, I'm just gonna store some things in here real quick. Okay. That way I can pick up these braziers. Okay. And that rock. Okay, so the gatehouse would go essentially right. And those two probably up to about here. I might even have it elevated like this. Maybe put some ramps here. And then the tower from the other side would need to come out here. This is extremely hard to work with. But I think if I come up here, ow, okay, that's good. So then curve, essentially it's like this, except for I'm going to delete that one, right? Yeah, and then it'll connect to wall starting here. Okay, so I think that is going to do it. And then this will continue along here, like so. And this should connect perfectly up to this wall over here, because we're on the same grid, we always have been. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me grab these resources back. And still doing okay on inventory space. Let me go ahead and get these punched in. I hate how the entire object kind of rocks back and forth. Okay, once this tree is done, I'm definitely moving that. But I think for now I will slot this in. Okay. And this one, probably not. Okay, probably want to stick with these here. And actually, you know, unless I want to get real creative, probably just gonna go like that. And just fill, oops, crap. Okay, that works. Okay, and let's just get that in there. Okay, and I'm gonna need a new hammer, like I said. You know what? I wonder if I shouldn't back this off one. I might. But for sure, these are gonna be in place, and that's good. And this. A Barbican tower, if you kind of do a Google search for it, really looks like this. Barbican is the tower system that it controls the gatehouse, and typically there's only one in a castle, and typically it's the most well-defended gatehouse. I don't know if it's maybe not even be proper to call this a Barbican, but it definitely wants to have the same feel. Okay, so with that, I can actually modify this now, which is what I wanted to do earlier, but I didn't have the inventory space. And I really need to deal with this hammer before I go further, so let's do that. So, you know, easily enough, I'll just throw this guy in the fire. And in the meantime, I'll just go craft another one here. Plenty of linseed oil for that. And steel as well. Just put it back in my inventory there. Okay, and then we've got the steel from that hammer that we just melted. A lot easier when you have a bunch of flaxseed oil crafted already. And we have a new hammer. Maybe I can just jump up here. Come on, game. Okay. Okay, and then this one, we're going to replace this with 3 number 6 blocks here. Like so. Okay. Alright, so as you can see, the basic shape is coming together now, and let's put in, it looks like one level without arrow slits. Try to keep the symmetry going. Okay. I might want to move this wall. We'll see. I'll think about that off camera. In the meantime, once that gets done, I'll probably just throw on a couple of these. Roughly here. And the other one will go there, but I want to not destroy that. Okay. And I'll probably put dirt, kind of like what I did over here, on this. Then, again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all of this, but I definitely am going to get rid of this one. I'm not sure, I might cause a little bit of a collapse here. Ooh, we're getting a lot of lag. Not sure why. Maybe looks like we're about to crash. Yep, there we go. Hopefully I didn't lose too much. Okay, I did get a comment here from somebody named Sucka Frizik. Yeah, I will build into the mountain eventually, but right now I think that it looks neater and certainly more realistic to build on a plateau situation, you know, so that the walls kind of hug the plateau. And I should, for the sake of my people who view this after the fact, the viewer asks, quote, "Why don't you leave what you have and build into the mountain?" And my answer is, I like the idea of building up on plateaus and basically building a castle rather than a underground fortress. The castle, I mean, that's realistically what this game is about. So, you know, I appreciate the thought, of course, and I certainly will do some stuff in the mountain. I'll show you. I don't know if you've seen my other episodes, but I do have some tunnels going already. But that becomes a very arduous process to build in the mountain. Do a lot of excavating. Okay, so Hopefully the server pops back up here. Don't see it yet. I wonder if my building is what caused the server to crash. And hopefully we don't lose too much progress, because I did a lot of work there. On the other hand, this intro screen has lovely music. Well, this is exciting. Usually it takes about 3 minutes to restart the server, so hopefully it won't be too much longer here. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't I just end the episode while we wait for the server. I'll log back in on the back end and rebuild anything that I lost on the crash there. And then I'm going to stream again in exactly 1 hour. So we'll do another episode then. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in 1 hour.